Hello again, everyone. Thank you for coming back here after lunch. And we are going to get ready for our next panel, which is going to touch on the topic of the metaverse. And it is going to be moderated by Cosmin Tronaru. He has years of experience as a programmer, but also as a speaker and as a community builder. And on the other side, he's doing a great job in interacting with both the technical and non-technical worlds. And Cosmin is going to be joined by Marius Dulhaniuc. He's the founder of MANIACS. They are pioneers in play to earn in a real-life ecosystem. And he has over 15 years of experience in business development and people management. And he's also going to be joined by Adrian Posteuca. He's a technology futurist and certified metaverse expert. And he also has an impressive experience in interactive projects and new technologies such as NFTs, AI, Web3, AR, and VR. So let's give them a really big round of applause.
No, it's okay. Hi guys. As you can see, one of us disappeared, but that's more time for the rest of us. Yeah, the NFT got burned. Oh, you're here, brother. Lost and found. We're gonna have to put you a chair again. Hey.
And by magic,
Now, we already spoke about, it's been spoken about the three of us, what we do.
okay.
Tell us a few words about yourself. Get a mic, please, and then we're gonna get started.
Okay, hello. Thanks for having me. I had a mini heart attack. Thought you are not having me anymore. So the name is ARCHAAG. Real name is Alex. I'm a real-life architect. I trained as such, worked as such for quite a while, a few years. Then I transitioned into full-time Web3 freelancing about a couple of years ago. And right now I'm creating virtual spaces, 3D assets for games, NFT collections based on the 3D assets that I'm creating, and I'm collaborating with various partners, mainly from abroad, US, UK, Australia, Poland recently, in creating the metaverse, as some of us call it.
Cool.
Whatever the metaverse may be, we're still trying to figure it out.
Well, let's start like this. What do you guys understand when you hear the word metaverse?
I think we gotta do this all the time, you know.
That's not my picture. Okay, that's not my picture.
So,
I don't own that NFT.
Okay, so we start with metaverse first. I want to say a few things because I see a lot of confusion in the communities. So first, a lot of people don't know what really metaverse means, and they connect the term with the blockchain, which is wrong. Blockchain will be part of it 100% because the technology is needed for that. But metaverse is like, imagine we are 20 years ago and we have the first mobile phone and we Google something for the first time and it's wow, it's so nice. And I think now we are exactly in the same phase because the metaverse will have a lot of interaction. For example, I want to go on a holiday, then I can go and check the room, how much space is it with my character, see the differences, because I have surprises now if I book something and I can't see really the space or something. So I think this will change a lot in the future, and the new internet will be called metaverse. And in this space, we can actually interact with each other a lot more, and probably we don't even imagine what is going to come.
Yes, for this I started a masterclass for agencies, and they pushed me to make a definition of metaverse. And I make my own definition of metaverse. There's a lot of definition when it started. And I said this is the next iteration of internet that is built on the top of blockchain. It's powered by AI, rendered in the cloud, and also streamed by 5G, 6G. So I think, okay, I'm using all the buzzwords, but in order for the metaverse to be part of our life. It has to be the next iteration of internet, so it doesn't have to be something that you're going to, I'm going to the metaverse, it's like going to the toilet. No, it's like everyday things. For sure, we need AI, and I know now it's a spike on AI because everybody's talking about AI, deepfakes, and all this kind of stuff. Blockchain must be there because all the interoperability of NFT and the blockchain, it will power the metaverse. And we're gonna talk about cloud computing because I think it will be very important for the metaverse to be rendered somewhere in the cloud, and edge computing also somewhere on a computer next to you. And for sure, for all this gonna happen, as Cosmin said yesterday, we need the power of 5G, 6G, 7G. So in order to have like a seamless interaction with the 3D internet, with the three-dimensional internet, I think we need all this to be at the same level as is today is the AI. So this is my definition, and I'm trying to put it as you know, as a benchmark.
As utopic as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I personally like to use virtual architecture a bit more than metaverse. I think it's a bit more clear for everybody to understand. It's architecture, but it's not in the physical world, it's in the virtual, in the digital world to some extent. Of course, blockchain can be a component of that, but you can also do without it if you decide so. The internet connection is vital, as you mentioned, of course. As for the rendering, that's again part of the process, part of the workflow. The way I see it and the way my team and I are currently tapping into the metaverse or into virtual architecture is that we create our assets from scratch and we upload them into a platform, and we get to use them there. We get to experience them there as avatars, basically like in a first-person shooter kind of game.
But you know how much power you need to render in a web space right now. All the details that you're doing on a 3D computer with a render that is not a real-time render, and then you put them into real-time environment, and you want to have the same quality. You need a lot of power, computing power to have this kind of feeling.
That's exactly true, and that's why optimization of the models plays a vital role, and it's one of our major challenges. You know, having an experience that is immersive, having an experience that is to some degree out of this world, because that's what we want. We want better than what we can access on a day-to-day basis, but still keeping it within reason in terms of resources and in terms of accessibility. So you don't need a master computer to access it or to enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is more for the future, speaking about AR and VR, but we interacted with Metaverse a long time ago with, let's say, Second Life. It was a Metaverse, or the gaming. When you play multiplayer games, it's a Metaverse. So everyone interacts with it every single day, but maybe in the future, yes, we'll have more technology, and I totally agree with the rendering power you need. And yes, probably we're gonna see it on each product in our life, every day. We don't Google anymore. We'll probably put our glasses or Googles and just interact with anyone.
But what Cosmin, and I'm here with Cosmin, and Cosmin said yesterday is going to be one metaverse. Because right now we have only one internet. Okay, we have dark internet, but in order...
But it's still connected.
Yeah, but I think it's very important to understand that it's not a game. Right now it's, okay, you're talking about Sandbox, you're talking about Second Life, you're talking about World of Warcraft and all these large games where you enter and you play and you do a Second Life. But I think the metaverse should be something that is connecting to our real life. And I believe it's more, and I want to challenge everybody right now and to make a bet. The metaverse will be on augmented reality or virtual reality. It will be something that you put some wearables on and you are connected to the metaverse, or you take something on and you are in a different world.
Well,
my bet, I will place my bet. My bet is augmented reality.
let's ask the public. Who says AR? Okay, who says VR? Who's never gonna raise their hand whatever I ask?
Maybe it's a new technology coming up now.
Well, you just did. Bruno Fernandez in there just raised his hand.
I think we're gonna start with VR and probably we're gonna go to AR. Because I'll give you an example now of real utility. I won't name the project, but it was really nice. And these guys, they were building actually one-to-one scale some buildings in Saudi Arabia. So if you were living in London and you want to invest in real estate, for example, you could access their platform via VR this time, but you could actually see around the building, walk around the building, see the spaces between the bed and the TV. So you could invest right from London, saving money and time just by seeing everything how it is going to look in 5 years' time. So you save a lot.
I'll add something to that because it was on the list of my questions. I think AR it's utility and VR it's entertainment. Now, since the beginning of times, with all the empires and everything, they were giving the population entertainment to keep them busy. And the way I see it, because it doesn't matter how much the technology is changing and how fast it's changing, we're not changing that fast. We're still the same. And most of us, we have a job, and when we see something as utility, we think of it as a job. But when we see something as entertainment, we see it as play, and we love it more. That's why the onboarding process, I think, is gonna come a lot through gaming, because everybody sees gaming as play. Even though we're gonna have, I think, next year in Romania, the first university teaching about gaming from all the aspects like coding and playing and stuff like that. So I think it's gonna be a mix in between the two, but when you get fully immersive, sometimes you forget to get out. I've been playing those games like WoW and Lineage and stuff like that, and the server every hour was sending you a message, you've been playing for 1 hour, you need to take a break. You've been playing for 2 hours, you've been playing for 47 hours, you need to take a break. Because they knew that once you get in there, once your head gets in there, it forgets to get out. And given the fact that everybody struggles for our attention, who's gonna keep our attention in a certain place is gonna get all the money.
I think I have a solution on that. Let's say, like if you play on MANIACS Arena, yeah? And you have the immersive experience. You play the as toy, but you have the AR glasses, goggles, yeah. But then is a fact that will take you out because you paid only for 1 hour, so you can't stay there forever.
It's like the old, you know, in the old times where you are going outside to play, you know, in a special place where you just rent a PC, and once the time it's over, it just shuts down. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I saw a lot of projects with wearables and gamifications. And I'm talking about glasses right now that you can run, and you have like digital assets that you can go through them, and gives you like, you know, superpowers, or gives you like, you know, an NFT because you finished the hiking or something like that. My bet is on augmented reality because I think it will be more ubiquitous to combine digital things that right now we have on the 2D screen, like, you know, things like, you know, what's the power of that that light, or something like, I don't know, my asset on my phone right now, so I have to pop it here so I can see how the crypto is doing. But I think by using wearables, we'll try to break the 2D aspect of the internet right now. Going with the virtual reality and what you said about selling properties in Dubai, I did that in 2017. I was working in London, and we were sending only glasses to investors in Bangkok. The idea is, yes, we're gonna have a virtual reality. Ready Player One the book that is very famous, and Mark Zuckerberg sent it to all the employers when they started the project with Oculus. It's a nice thing to have, but when you're reading the book, the life was shit. So people will tend to go only in virtual reality and forget about their real life. And I think we have a challenge right now, because we are just at the beginning of this metaverse, of this new Web3, to keep this balance. To don't have a shit life in our real life and have a good life on the virtual environment.
Do you think we have this balance now without VR?
No, I think we are trying to have this balance.
And
we are trying to have this balance.
And yet we're not succeeding. Imagine when fully immersive gets in.
VR will not stop you from that. The way I see it, I mean, I completely agree that augmented reality is going to play a major role in the future, and it has huge potential. I agree with you on that. We have used augmented reality for construction sites even. We wanted to see the layers for the MEP before its installation. Also, for real estate, as you mentioned, I was fortunate enough to be able to present projects using goggles like Oculus Rift in 2017, so I know what you're talking about. It's here already, it's used already, and it's gonna be bigger and even more important. I don't think AR and VR are by any means mutually exclusive, and I think we're gonna have both of them playing major role in the future.
Of course.
I don't think VR is going to stop us from having a good life or a shitty life if we plan on doing that. Why I'm saying this is because before VR, we played any other game you can possibly think of for hours and hours and hours without VR. I don't know, we played Prince of Persia, and that was 2D. That's a horrible game by today's standards from visual point of view. But we did that for hours, and before that we just read books or went to the movies or whatever. Escapism is not a nowadays problem, and if you ask me, it's not necessarily a problem. VR is not going to pull you in, it will just provide you with one possible occupation. Yeah, you may get to do it way too much, but that's up to you. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to decide, of course, you have to decide. You may get a ping, just get out, you've been there for too much time. You might have to shut it down in order to join school or get to your job, but
I want to make an addendum.
please.
If you're thinking about the internet of the future as something very seamless to our life, getting inside of a virtual environment is not as seamless as, I know, walking around here. So I believe in an internet that is seamless, and a Web3 that is seamless. A virtual reality environment is not seamless, so it's not, I cannot go down from this stage and with the goggles on and being inside of because I want to go on that door. I'm not gonna be inside of an enchanted forest and go to that hole because I'm not gonna see people. Maybe I bump in someone, and I believe that virtual reality was gonna be a huge impact in our life, training and education and visiting things but as we're talking about metaverse as a web, the future of a web, as the web environment, I believe we're gonna be very seamless integration.
Hopefully.
No, it's my bet. No, we hope.
Hopefully, yeah. What about virtual real estate? We were talking yesterday.
Yes, I already said about it. I'm sure it's my personal opinion that will go the way, like 100% we're gonna use it. It's helping us in many ways. It's saving time, money, and yes, we can check like distances, measurements, aspects, and everything.
Why would somebody buy virtual real estate?
In my point of view, that virtual real estate the first option is that maybe we'll have a direct connection to a real life estate where we can maybe tokenize the real asset with NFTs. And then the second option is that a lot of people will join the metaverse in the future, and maybe you don't have a chance to buy land anymore in Dubai now, but you'll have it in metaverse, so you can create a shop and sell or do your business there.
So it's something like location, 3D location.
Yes. It'll be I don't know, I see, in my point of view, I see as a gate, you know, so you can access different, the metaverse will be the same. Each business maybe will have a metaverse, or each city. So you can access a gate and go to different locations if you want to use VR while sitting home. If we speak about AR, it's a different story because, yes, the experience will be totally different.
Well, I totally agree with you as well, but the way I see AR, even though it's designed to help people like engineers and doctors and so on, the way the society devolved, or I don't know, in the last years, I think most of the people will use it for the status. Meaning like you wear your glasses and you see somebody wearing a 3D hat, and he's gonna make you wear the glasses just to see his hat. Because we wear the devices until we get used to them, you know, the hedonistic aspect, it's out there, then they're just common. The way we deal with the smartwatches, we all have them. I think I wore mine 3 weeks ago the last time. It's sitting somewhere, and it does a lot for me, you know, it shows me, but I got so used to it that sometimes it's like common things. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I'm actually very happy that you raised the issue in this direction, because I considered answering your previous question with something that may sound superficial, which is bragging rights. You would have virtual real estate for bragging rights. Yeah. In my opinion, what that means, and it's actually a project that we worked at for quite a while now, you would have an NFT mansion, and you can have friends over without actually being over. Your friends are from US, you are here in Bucharest, and you still get to meet in a place that you own, and you have proof of ownership for that, of course, in a place where only a handful of people have access, and a place that hopefully looks amazing. Something that would not be possible in real life, or would be possible with a huge amount of effort and resources. Planes, hotel rooms and whatnot, and would not look as cool as that. I've had meetings like this with friends from the US, and we laughed that looks like a board meeting in such a virtual environment with avatars and everything, with interaction, bringing images forward to discuss on strategy to further our project, bringing 3D assets in front of us in the virtual space to discuss about that. What do you think, how it looks, how we can improve it? And it was a board meeting thousands of kilometers away, and it looked cool. And yeah, I mean, it might sound superficial, but I think that's a use case as well.
Okay, about bragging, I remember a joke. And there is a guy, a Romanian guy with a Dacia, next to a guy from Ferrari, and says, "This car works good because I saw only few of them." So it's like, in order to have a bragging, to brag about something, you need to have a recognition about that to be a good asset. Because I can drive a Ferrari in a country that nobody knows about Ferraris. And they'll ask me, "This is a good car?" Because I saw only one.
Which country?
No, I'm just saying. So right now, all the 3D environments are trying to say, "I'm the best environment. I'm the best environment." So my assets are those who can brag about. But it's a big challenge. We have Sandbox, we have Decentraland, we have many. So which asset is better? My asset from the Sandbox, or your asset from Second Life, or your asset from...
You go maybe Sandbox because you want to be neighbor with Snoop Dogg.
No, it's... So there's going to be a fight. And another thing, you said something about glasses on. Do you think in the future we're going to wear things like on Enterprise, on the like a plane, like a plane, you know, thing on you, and then all the fabrics will be in augmented or virtual reality, so I'm gonna see, oh, you're wearing something interesting. But when I put my goggles on, oh, you're in pajamas, you know?
Well, in a utopic future, maybe, but given the fact that we live in a dystopic society, probably we won't, because everybody would look the same in real life, and nobody wants to look the same. Everybody wants to be different, to show off, even though if we ask, the people that are here are excluded, you know, the way we see it. But yeah, it's gonna look interesting. The future is gonna be interesting. I would add something, and I would ask you as well. Because right now, and I've been speaking yesterday, I made a 1-hour speech in 20 minutes. I don't know how much of what I wanted to say I said. But right now, everybody's building behind the closed door, because when the gateways of interconnectivity will show, the people will move in the places where the biggest trust is. Because I think the status and the value of what you said, it's brought about the trust they have. So, who do you think has the biggest trust right now regarding the names on the market, or, I don't know, the brands,
I think it's a perception game. If you're gonna ask,
it's
maybe
always a
also a perception game. But I think if you're gonna ask right now who's the most trustful IT brand, they're gonna say Apple.
Okay.
But if you go back and read more about Apple and about the money that they charge the developers and how much money they make on top of developers, you're gonna hate Apple. It's a good trust because sometimes you said, I have one button phone and I can, you know, I don't want to be bothered about setting and all this kind of stuff. But if you read more about it, then you're gonna go to NVIDIA, and then you're gonna go to Meta and all this kind of stuff. And you say, I don't think right now there is a very trustful brand, because all of them they're taking money somewhere from you in a different way. I don't believe also in an open environment where we can vote and say, oh, let's build some, oh, who's gonna vote? Because we know democracy right now is the best option that we have, but not is the coolest option that we have right now. So I think we need somehow to invent a new democracy, and we're gonna place the trust in different sets, like in different companies. I'm not sure where to place my trust. I'm playing on multiple companies, but we're gonna wait. For me, it's very important who's making steps to understand if they're trustful or not.
Yeah, as I said before, I think this is a long-term building. So we had a hot subject like 2 years ago when everyone tried to take the advantage of the first mover. Everyone was a metaverse or a multiverse. So I think, like I said before, we have to build another 10 years maybe, and we're gonna have the Web 3.0. And this is my opinion, yes. And probably we'll find out more competitors, but now my bet will go on NVIDIA, and I want to keep it short.
Well, if you're talking about trust, I think the easiest way to see it is who puts the actions where the words are. So basically, as yourself mentioned, you are going to see and learn more about trusting different entities as they move along. I'm of the opinion that we are at the very beginning of this metaverse journey, the Web3 journey. I'm not even sure we have Web3 right now. It might take a while for it to develop. So I'm certain that it will take some years for us to see who moves in the direction that they promised. You know, the already famous under-promise, over-delivered. Who over-delivered and kept the promise low during the years. That's how I feel about it.
Well, I think we have a little bit of time, and I would finish with one question.
You have to answer, Cosmin. You put it's a
Sorry.
discussion.
I already said it yesterday. Epic Games,
Okay.
because they always put the trust in the hand of the community. They build an engine with a game. They gave it for free to everybody, and the whole world started to use it. And everything they build, they building having in mind, because I think this is the hardest part, to build an economics that puts the customer, the player, on the first spot, and yourself in the second one. Most of the companies try to do so, but when the money, I don't know, doesn't show up anymore, or when the shareholders start asking why, they switch, and it's hard not to. And I still believe that through gamification, right now it's the only way. It's been like this for decades. Look at every country, at every dictatorship country. Every time somebody was getting mad, they were giving them festivals and parties and entertainment.
Bread and circus?
Yeah.
If a question for everybody, I'll take the. Sorry. When do you think the metaverse will happen?
Well, I would add to that question, because my last one was, how do you think, or in terms of years, AI will change the development of, because people were projecting a form of metaverse or interconnectivity in like 10, 15 years, let's say. A lot of people. But now we have AI, and it's getting stronger and stronger. When do you think, with the help of AI, we'll have a pretty stable means of interconnectivity with every, like, you go from Sandbox to Decentraland to the Epic to Apple to one another, and how faster do you think it will get with the help of AI?
I think the metaverse already happens right now because we are waiting for a moment, like a T0. So it says from today we have a Web3 day. No, it's going to happen. We have the goggles. We have already the AI. Companies are struggling with edge computing. So it's not going to be like from the 1st of December 2025, we're going to have Web3. Things were going to happen
but
around
when you
us.
say they're struggling with that,
No,
it's like somebody struggling to give birth. So maybe
No,
it's just
but,
on the edge of it.
It's like internet, like Web3, like Web2. It's not going to happen one day. Oh, everybody will have a computer and we are on internet right now on Web2. No, it's like first we have a dial-up and you have a dial-up and my friend doesn't have a dial-up, but his father gonna buy him from next winter or next holiday or something like that.
But when did the internet start?
We cannot say like
1983.
Yeah, but it's not gonna. If you ask me, it's not happened that year because I have the internet. I have a computer in 97. So for me, the internet happened that day.
Like if you're born in 1980 and you made your first bath in 1980, it doesn't mean that people didn't have hot water before.
True, but it's like hot water. It was not a day when you said hot water was invented in that day. From that day on, we have hot water. No, it's happening, and it's happening, and it's happening, and we're gonna wake up in the morning and say, "Hello,
I'm bored.
Jervis."
When did this become the new reality?
Yeah.
I mean, it happened seamless. So yeah, I completely agree that to some degree We already have the metaverse, we already have virtual architecture, we have augmented reality, virtual reality, all that stuff is already here. It has been for quite a few years. When are we going to a seamless integration, and when all the platforms and all the technologies are going to seamlessly talk to each other?
Just
that's
the
hard
first
to
two
predict.
of them. Because we don't even have two of them talking in between the other.
Yeah.
And that means there's no persistency, right? So when do you think we're going to have like two big companies talking to each other? Because the way I see it right now is like before everybody had even dial-up, we only had like the neighborhoods, like I had 10 friends, I was playing with them. That didn't mean internet. I had my structure.
Local network, yeah.
Yeah, local networks. Like, when do you think it will happen for the two big companies to
when it's going to benefit them? It's going to benefit them way more than the inherent hurdles of it. I mean, when did your local network become part of the huge national-wide network? Can you pinpoint that exact moment?
Yeah, me, I can.
It means
when
that
the internet cable came to my town. But I get your point.
It made much more sense financially, I believe, for them to become integrated into the bigger picture.
So we get back to the basic. It's all about the money.
Yes.
Yeah, most likely.
I personally agree with my colleagues what they said. This thing will be really progressive, so we are not gonna feel the difference. Like, yes, it's gonna happen today. Probably we don't even know when this is all changed, and probably a lot of companies are gonna die on the way, and that's the moment maybe only two will be left and they're gonna build it. But like we said before, today we can play games with VR, okay, then what AR, and maybe tomorrow we can have a different experience buying a property and stuff like that, and go on, maybe in 2, 3 years, 4 years time, we are there, and we don't know, we're gonna feel it, and that's it.
I believe something. I want to buy a pair of glasses called from Brilliant Labs. They are augmented reality glasses.
Yeah, I know.
And they integrated OpenAI on them. So OpenAI doesn't take money from Brilliant Glasses. Brilliant Glasses doesn't make money from OpenAI. So this is an integration of a wearables that they don't make money on each other, and there's a seamless integration. So you're gonna have a wearable, say, today is gonna rain. Look at me, I'm dressed well for this weather. I said, no, you have to take a raincoat with you. And that answer is not coming from the glasses, it's coming from an AI. And the AI is not developed by the glasses company. It's not like Meta, you know. It's an open source. So I think when open source companies, they join forces in a way and put, as you said, the customer in the middle, I think that's a good step of a Web3 integration, or migrating towards Web3. I think, I don't know, on my opinion, I think Brilliant Glasses, maybe there are several companies with wearables that integrate right now, OpenAI and ChatGPT and all this kind of stuff, but this kind of, let's say, examples offers you a glimpse of the future.
I'm sorry, but every time you mention glasses of one denomination or another, for one purpose or another, I kept asking myself, why are we talking about glasses? I personally believe that the future will be microchips. It's going to be, it's going to be inside you already. You won't need glasses anymore. Or, sorry? No. No, but I believe that the technology that we are going to use is going to be, if we're talking about seamless, much more seamless than the glasses. Of course.
Welcome to the season 7 of Black Mirror.
That's how it starts, yeah.
It was a great conversation, guys, and yeah, as everybody can see, nothing is for sure. We're just discussing our own opinions. Hopefully, it's gonna change the world for the better. So that being said, thank you. And
thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.